Good afternoon, folks. It's Robert Chappell with Executive Editor Madison365 with your daily update for Friday, the 16th of April. It's a beautiful afternoon, so I won't keep you too long. There's not a lot of huge breaking news today. Uh, there is some decent news on the coronavirus front, and we'll talk through that. And then we got some other local news, some pro soccer news, which that's my my favorite beat to cover, and a couple of upcoming events that you want to take a look at. So let's get into the data first because the news is kind of better today. I will say one thing: we do not, for some reason, it's not clear why, we just don't have any new vaccine data. The vaccination data at the state website just hasn't been updated today. Probably not a big deal, but there's that happens sometimes where they're a little bit late getting the data in. So I can't tell you much about vaccinations except that as of yesterday, we had 25.8% of the population fully vaccinated. Got to get that to 80. It's been going, about a half a percent a day. So I would expect that when the data gets updated today, it would be like, I don't know, 26.3% or something like that. So yeah, that's generally speaking, the vaccinations have been going well, but the racial disparities continue to be an issue, and we're working on addressing those. Um, but I just don't have any new data today on the vaccines. And the data I do have is related to the spread. Here we have fewer new cases today, 709 new cases, which still feels like a lot, kind of, right? But on 4,700 tests. So actually, the percentage of new tests that came back positive is kind of close to what was yesterday. It's just yesterday was 16%, today is 15%. So the numbers on the day are slightly better than yesterday, but not a lot. But the number that I really like to see is 3.6%. That is the percentage of all tests in the past 7 days that have returned positive results. We really need that to be below 3.0. Like 3.0 is kind of the line where public health people will tell you if you're below 3%, that means you have it pretty much under control. That means you're doing a lot of testing and you're testing a lot of people who are healthy, but you're doing that testing and you're tracing and you're isolating people who are sick. We were below 3% for a while. For almost a month, we were below 3%. And then we've just been creeping upwards, and we've been stuck at about 3.8% for the past 9 days. So today, to see that dip down to 3.6, not a huge dip. It's not like it dropped off. But it's down. That's the 3.6% is the lowest it's been since April 6th. It's 10 days. So my fingers are crossed that marks a turn, and that'll continue to go down and drift back down under 3.0. That would be my hope. Also today, we report 5 fatalities. So our death toll is now 6,703. The death average per day over 7 days is still at 4, which is as low as it's been. So that's decent news. Also, the other number that went down today that I like to see going down is the number of active cases. It didn't go down much. It was just over 9,200 yesterday, and now it's at 9,195, so just under 9,200. So at least it didn't go up, right? It's basically the same. It's basically stayed steady, but it's been going up for the past several days. So I'm hoping that also levels off and then begins to drift back down. And what that means is about 1.6% of all the cases we've ever had are currently active. That's still a pretty high number, frankly. You'd think by now, over a year into this, that we'd be drifting down towards zero eventually. But again, we're not. And I think part of it is, vaccines are going well. Everybody knows about the vaccines. Everybody feels like we're done, right? It feels like we just gotta, just a couple, just kind of a formality, a couple extra steps. We just gotta get some vaccines, and then it's fine. It feels like we're done and tying up loose ends, but we're not, right? This vaccine effort is a massive public health effort. It's as big an undertaking as testing was a year ago, and it takes time, it takes energy and resources, and so it's not just tying up loose ends. It's not just like we finished this and now this is just a couple last things to do. This is a big, giant, audacious push to get this done, and it's not done yet, right? Which means while that's happening, the rest of us have to work to keep those numbers low by wearing our masks, by keeping our distance, all that stuff that we've been doing. Now, I want to be clear about something. Back in November, this thing was out of control, right? We peaked right around Thanksgiving or so, late November. We're doing 7,000 cases a day, 14% positive test rate, 60 deaths a day. We got that down below 3%. We got that down to 4 deaths per day. We got that down to like 300 cases a day. Government didn't help us with that, remember? We did that ourselves. We did that. And we can do it again. We can keep doing it. So let's keep doing it. A couple more months. Just a couple more months, really, honestly. Okay, so that's the coronavirus news today. It'll be a short show today. That's the coronavirus news, especially without the vaccine data. That's like 5 minutes right there, right? So we'll take a short break. We'll hear from a sponsor, and then I'll have some more local news for you right after this. Stay with us.
Here in the Midwest, community is important.
Having a healthcare system that's looking out for us,
that's actively addressing the racial disparities in healthcare is important.
When we can get good quality care, we can do more. We can achieve more.
We can be the kind of community we want to be, and that's really important.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Okay, we are back, and we're going to talk a little bit about something happening in Warsaw. The Hmong American Festival is not tomorrow, but next Saturday. This is a big event that they do up there every year, and it's kind of the major fundraiser for the Hmong American Center. And they had to cancel last year for obvious reasons, and this year they're reconfiguring it. They're doing it virtually, but they're still doing it, at least this year. What I didn't know until I read this story, Aomi Wolf did the story for us. I didn't realize that this month, is the 45th anniversary of the arrival of the first Hmong refugees in Wisconsin. A few had arrived in California earlier than that, but not much earlier, because it's just a couple of years. So this is the first real influx of Hmong folks from Southeast Asia into Wisconsin. Began 45 years ago this month, which is, I think, remarkable. We're sort of into the almost beginning like the third generation of folks here in Wisconsin, and so that's kind of exciting and something to celebrate. So they're having this festival. The picture you see here is Feng Yang, who's the keynote speaker. There's also all sorts of events, as much events as they can do online. They're probably not going to have, they usually have like a soccer tournament and a basketball tournament and stuff. Probably not going to be able to do those virtually, but they'll still have plenty of stuff to learn. Lots of Hmong cultural performances and language and stuff, and workshops and creativity workshops and all sorts of fun things. So check that out. The story is on Madison365.org, and there's a link there where you can watch that next week, Saturday at 11 a.m. Also this weekend, we'll do the soccer news first. This is the new goalkeeper coach for Forward Madison. His name is Emerson Lovato. He's 27. He's been coaching in the college ranks, Division II college ranks, for several years at the University of Texas Permian Basin, Midwestern State University, and Newberry College. And he's the last piece of the coaching staff for Forward Madison as they ramp up for their season. Speaking of Forward Madison, they also announced today the rest of their preseason schedule, which they're going to play Indy 11 tomorrow. Indy 11 is a USL Championship team that's one level above Ford Madison. And then next Saturday, they will play Sporting Kansas City 2, which is the also USL Championship team. That's and they're the sort of the minor league reserve squad of Sporting Kansas City from MLS. And then on May 1st, they will actually host a match, a preseason friendly, against Milwaukee Bavarians, which is from Milwaukee, a very high level amateur club from Milwaukee. They will sell us limited number of tickets. They're selling tickets basically like a family pod of 4 tickets for $50, and then you just stay with you got to stay with your family and be distanced from other families, right? So that'll be kind of fun. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be able to get my media pass to cover that match or not, but we'll see. So that's Emerson Lovato and the Ford Madison preseason schedule. And then also this weekend, tomorrow, is the NAACP Act So competition. Act So stands for Afro Academics, Culture. Sorry, I gotta remember what S stands for. Afro Academic, Cultural, Technological, and Scientific Olympics. It's a year-long youth program. It used to be called the Olympics of the Mind, but it's a regional competition and then becomes a national competition. And in Madison, we've had some real success at the national level. Amadou Kroma over here is basically a professional photographer now, but he won a silver medal in photography at the national level a couple years ago. Lots of success. Frances Huntley Cooper is the chair of the event. That's her on the left there. Still, to this day, the only Black mayor that any Wisconsin city has ever had. She was mayor of Pittsburgh in 1991. Dave talked to her. Dave, our editor, talked with her and has the story there on Madison365.org, along with the link to figure out how to watch that. I'm sorry, I said it's tomorrow. It's actually Sunday. Sunday, 6 p.m. is the competition, and you can watch that on the NAACP of Dane County website. All right, that's what I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's supposed to be nice, and I'm going to be doing some hiking in a very socially distant manner outdoors. And I hope you can get out too and enjoy yourself. I'll be back Monday with more news, and until then, take care.
This is 365 Media.